What the fuck? What the fuck's going on here, boys? Alright. Shit. Cat's gone crazy. Alright, so we're cleaning my weapons today. I'm going to get my other stream up by connecting the two microphones together, which always fuck around. Oh, I'm not, I swear, am I? Oh well. Oh, it's a bit off. How is everyone going? Oh, it keeps muting. Roger. I'm very well. I'm very well. Let me just sort this out. There we go. Let's get this in the right position. I don't know what's going on. Let me know if you can hear me. Got a haircut. Here it is. All right. So we are fixing my... We're cleaning a little bit of my helmet. Helmet and sword is being cleaned. And I'm off-centered and my door's open. How bad is that? We'll close that door. Leave a little bit for the cats. All right, so we're cleaning this helmet and sword because rust is the devil, which is fantastic. I'm also going to get this other stream cranking along, which is Twitch. We'll see if they want to connect or not. But if not, we'll just go through microphone. Yeah, we'll see if that works. And if it doesn't, we'll see what happens. All right, we're bloody live, everyone. All right, fantastic. Lovely to have everyone here. The all 6 people. All I'm doing today is I am just cleaning my sword, so my pro fighting sword from Medieval Extreme, which is just pure rusty. It's got a lot of rust. And then the way I do that is I either use some WD-40, which a lot of people say is a no-no, especially for cleaning guns and stuff, because it's water-based, but I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so I actually have no idea. And so what I do is I start off with some sandpaper to get the surface rust off, and then if the surface rust or the rust itself is pretty bad, I use a drill, and excuse me for using Ryobi. I use a drill with a wire brush head on it. Just makes it easier to get all that junk off. So yeah, let's do that. Got my computer here. Let me know if you can hear me at all. And if you can't hear me, let me know. Hey dude, what's going on? Oh dude, thank you so much. Hearing that I'm inspiration for people to start Buhurt, awesome, loud and clear, fantastic. To hear the people that started Buhurt because of me is like one of my biggest goals, because I wanted people to be not afraid to start like a sport like Buhurt, because as a young age you're kind of forced into like soccer, rugby, Aussie rules, netball, or you're pushed into kind of a set of sports or a set of things. And then if you strayed a little bit from the side, you were kind of like shunned, I guess. Like I grew up, even growing up doing boxing, kickboxing, and wrestling, I was a little bit shunned as well, because I didn't play football on the weekends with everybody else. But yeah, so it is a really nice to hear that I inspire people to do Buhurt. But yeah, that's the main reason for social media, was to get into it. I like axes. Okay, well, there's two things. So when I do group fights, I like my axes because I play center and I run around and I hit people with axes. So that's what I like to do in the Buhurt, so group fights, because it's easy to chop someone down and get them to the ground rather than wrestle them. As I'm a smaller guy, wrestling a larger human, or any human really, is very tiring, and I'm quite a lazy fighter. So I like to run around. If there's a person that's like a better wrestler than me, I'll hit them a lot before wrestling them, so wear them down a little bit. So they were thinking about my axe more than my, wrestling. So they're like, oh, I want to close in because he's hit me with his axe heaps. And then they rush in. I do a quick trip to the side, boys. So they think about the axe, not my throws when they approach me in Buhurt, which is really cool. But swords are good. And swords are good for pro fighting. You can use a hand axe or a sword in pro fight. WD-40 also available with silicone base. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I don't know that. I'm not the handiest of all men, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, so in pro fights, so the 1v1 duels, you can use a sword, or you can use like a hand axe. I think there's no rules against it. I think maybe Armored MMA, you have to match what your opponent's fighting with. But yeah, that is what I've been using. But I would not fight with a hand axe in a pro fight, because to score a point in pro fight, you can only score a point using this edge right here. That's very small compared to a sword. You can use the whole edge to score a point. So this whole edge is point scoring, and then compared to the hand axe, that's the only amount of scoring point, really. So just to explain that a little bit further, this part of the sword is pretty much all you can score a point with if you're using an axe, if that makes sense. But if you're using a sword, you can score a point from tip to hilt. And you can score points by punching with your sword hand. But with axes, you've got to keep your hand 30 centimeters away from the axe head. But you can't punch like that because it counts as stabbing, because you're essentially stabbing, the blade into someone's face. So it has to be 30 centimeters away from the blade head to be able to punch someone with your weapon. And if you're unaware, in Buhurt, you can't stab. There's no stabbing whatsoever. So that explains why I like to use sword in a pro fight. And then I use big, long axes for group fights. I like having one hand free when I grapple, because if you've got a sword and buckler, like a sword and shield, you both hands, you're holding onto something. Which is your opinion is more important, cardio or strength? Oh, okay. Excellent question, by the way. There is no, let's go on Sage. Good to see you, Sage. So more important for, there's not one more than the other. Cardio is super important, super important, because if you're wearing all this heavy armor and you're walking around and you don't have a good cardiovascular system, the armor is going to be, the first thing you're going to be fighting is your armor. But in saying that though, strength is super important too, once again, because the armor, you need to be strong to carry armor and then lift, your opponents that are heavy in armor and everything. So a balance of both is important. There's not one that outweighs the other. Because if you don't have cardio and you're just strong, which I've versed giants that are power lifters or strongmen, and they just cark it because they're so tired and so big, and they got no cardio. That they could definitely lift me and throw me, but if you can sprawl or keep them at distance, which is easy for a little man, just put your elbows in their armpits, give them 30 seconds to a minute, and you'll be able to just ground and pound them, or they'll be so tired that you can get an underhook and throw them. But then, if you're not strong enough to hold off a bigger opponent or a stronger opponent, he's just going to literally grab your head and rip you to the ground if you've got no strength. So it's hard to say which one's more important. I would say initially, it's hard. It's so hard because you really do need a good balance. I'd say muscular endurance is better than cardio or strength, if that makes sense. So the muscular endurance is, ensuring that you can do the same repetition over a long period of time, like a weighted exercise. So like a cardiovascular system could relate just to running, because you could be really good cardio runner, really good at cardio fitness, but your endurance for your upper body would be bad. So you really do need a nice split all over it. I'll add, fantastic. Dude, first sword for Medieval Extreme. If you want any of these weapons, go to Medieval Extreme and use code SRIDE. You can get free express shipping around the world. I think I bought this sword because it was in stock. That's if it's in stock. And it came to me within 6 days from Ukraine. So if you want a sword, I recommend to go and get one from Medieval Extreme. Any of your armor, well, both Medieval Extreme and Pablo Workshop, both use my code SRIDE to get a discount. So they highly recommend both of these armorers. The reason why I have 2 armorers is because the wait times, and some people, if you go from the one armorer the whole time, there could be extremely long wait time, or there could be, something else going on to something that you don't like. So that's why I got 2 armorers, because, one could be better than the other, and you could do something. Great question. How do I unlock? Oh, I missed that. I'm going to change the comments keep disappearing. Bizarre. Let me just make sure they stay up. But long story short, being all-round fit is sorry, I'm trying to read the comments. Being all-round fit is more important. So having cardio and strength is super important. So I'm just going to... These disappearing messages are crazy. Let's do this. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to have to get up on my computer. But, so excuse me for missing your questions. I'll get it up. I think I heard something about range. So I'll just talk about range while I get up the questions I missed. So finding your range with a long axe or even a sword is practicing at your longest distance. So if you keep practicing your sword swing and you're cutting real close to your opponent's here and you're just cutting with this part of the sword, you're never going to learn how to really flat snap out and hit your opponent, because with weapons, you've got a weapon because it's ranged. What are your opinion? What is minimum armor fitness? Good question. So yeah, distance on your weapons, you need to be training your weapons at the most, like the longest part away you can. Like, so if I'm striking with a sword, you don't have your arm completely straight, you have a slightly bend, and that is your max distance, not this. Same with axes, you want to learn how far away you can hit someone, as well as you can attack real close. Minimum fitness, I think I heard, there is no minimum fitness. You can jump into the sport whenever you want, because it is a hobby that you pay for, you train for. You can honestly buy a set of armor, never have fought before ever, and start fighting. Literally, you could buy, not even go to a club. You can sign up for insurance or the AMCF, the Australian Medieval committee, as in association, become a member of the committee, buy armor and then fight the next week. Honestly, you could, by theory, buy armor and just fight. You wouldn't need to do any training, you can jump in. Now, I don't recommend that at all. I always recommend jumping in the deep end or whatnot, but that's too deep. Yeah, exactly. Not everyone that does the sport gets pumped up or anything like that, but goes to the gym. But yeah, I recommend a good solid 6 months of training before maybe even getting into armor. 6 months of getting into armor, but getting a polearm, dude, polearms are great. But I always say that a two-handed weapon is a specialist, because your whole life you've walked around with your hands independently of each other. Sorry about that, dude. Your whole life you're working independently of your arm. I'm going to reach over here, I'm going to do this. And then as soon as you use a pole weapon, you've got to think quickly and have your hands together. So hitting, wrestling over the top, your hands are working together instead of independently. So I always think that a person with a pole axe, you should always start a year of sword and shield, is what I should say. A year of sword and shield, working with your hands independently of each other, getting used to armor, getting used to the situational awareness of the sport is what I recommend. But that's not what you should do. That's just what I recommend. If some people just find an axe and they're like, this is me, they can swing hard, they can wrestle. But a lot of people, when they have an axe, they just tap. and you don't want to tap. If you got a two-handed axe, you need to make sure every shot is a painful shot, because that's why you've got it. Otherwise, just get a falchion, a heavy falchion, and they're just distraction shots. You definitely can drop people with a one-handed falchion. Don't get me wrong, people can definitely get dropped with one-handed falchions. But an axe, that's your job. You're the DPS, you're the damage dealer. And I find, as a poleaxe fighter in a Buhurt, people focus on you. So people will be like, oh shit, there's a two-handed axe fighter, and then your mate that's fighting him, is not being concentrated on, which opens up the ability. My injury is going well. I think I can start running in a straight line in 2 weeks or a week and a half. So it's going well. So I'm pretty excited. I've been lifting a lot of weights, which is really cool. I reckon soft training for weapons. Yeah, soft training 100%. If you're not aware, literally 95% of Buhurt training is done in soft armor. And soft armor is like a soft sword, a soft shield, and a soft helmet that's like made specifically for training. There's nothing soft about it. They still really hurt getting hit with the soft sword and axe. But it stops that weight on your body, stops injuries, it stops your armor maintenance being so much. So soft sword and shield or soft axe, you'd be doing that 95% of your time. And because it's so light, you're not worried about your armor or getting, extremely fatigued from wearing armor. You can train for a longer period of time with a higher intensity, which is, bloody awesome. I'm going to try and get my comments up on my YouTube on my computer, because I cannot see any. Here we go. Sorry, everyone. Here we go. All right, I can see all the comments now. Fan-flipping-tastic. Let's go through them. All right. Thank you, everyone, for jumping in. You have a sword and Templar dagger. All right, awesome. Daggers can't be used in my sport, but I'm glad. Daggers are cool. Don't get me wrong. Daggers are very cool. What style? I think you mean like what style of training do I do? I do a mixed variation of judo, Greco-Roman wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, a tiny bit of BJJ, but not for Buhurt, just for fun. And then I'm not very good at it either. But yeah, what is your opinion? Minute fitness, so much for Buhurt. Like I said before, 6 months of training in Buhurt, and I think that's enough to get into your competition, if that makes sense. Funny enough, that does the sport go to the gym pump. Yeah, some people do the sport just as like that is their exercise, right? They do Buhurt for their exercise, so their sole exercise is to do Buhurt, which is really cool, which is the cool part of the sport, because instead of going to the gym doing a spin class or lifting weights, it's wrestling people, it's fighting people, and that's great, and that's what I love. But if you want to fight at a high level in this sport, you need to do your Buhurt training, and then you need to do your strength and resistance training, or strength and cardio training to get at those higher levels. But if you're just doing this sport for a hobby, for fun, throw armor on, have a bash, that's your exercise, and that's completely fine. I'm starting training with the Twin Cities group and the summer. Very excited to get into the sport. I appreciate information videos you made. Thanks, dude. I will be bringing out more like throws and informational videos about Buhurt when I'm not so injured. Like I can't really demonstrate throws, or I can just now get into Buhurt weapons training. So that's exciting. So thank you so much. I hope my information and content does help you get into the sport, makes you feel comfortable about getting into the sport, because it is an amazing sport. So thank you so much for, well, I really appreciate you telling me that. So at the start, it's a bit awkward when people say thank you. I'm like, oh shit, I was just doing what I love, but I'm glad that you've found the best sport in the world. But yeah, I don't know if anyone noticed, but I've got my Dark Angels t-shirt on today. Also, I'm a big Warhammer nerd. So Warhammer's awesome, super nerdy, but so is fighting people in medieval armor. So I can't, you can't really, judge. You can judge, go ahead. Judging is sometimes some people's favorite activity in the gym. Sage, how's it going? Are you at work, brother? Guarantee you Sage is at work, which is very, it shows a lot of dedication getting on at work. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. It's actually my kitty litter cranking on in the background. So let's get some of this rust off. I've been talking too much smack about Buhurt. Well, it's not smack in that, but so when you are cleaning your weapons and armor, you can just use sandpaper or the drill. If I wasn't talking so much, I would use this drill. I'm fairly new to the sport. In your opinion, where does a little guy fit in melees? So I'm a small guy as well. I would say anywhere but the rail. So stay off the rail, because the rail, for us to fight another person on the rail, we have to get on our tippy toes and remove our center of gravity. And being a short person, the best thing we have for us is our low center of gravity. So if you're playing a floater, which is the anchors on the list, the floater is next to the anchor being the 1x1. Even a smaller dude as a floater is completely fine, because you can cut across the list, you can just hit the other floater, but it keeps you moving. But as soon as you're locked to the list, bad for small guys like me. Or center, like myself, I play center. I find that's the best position for us. Scotch Bright. What is Scotch Bright? Is that like actual Scotch? Or, I'll sort that out. Alright. Oh, can someone like DM me what Scotch Bright is? But I'm going to use this drill for a bit. So ask some questions, I can see them all. Bright. I don't know what that is, someone help me. But I'm going to use this drill for a little bit, but please keep asking questions, this is fantastic. Probably should put it down, eh? There's a lot going on this table. There's a little hand axe that I do need there. Drilling. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this rust off. It's a brand new US green scrubbing pads. Oh, okay. No, I know what you're talking about. They are good. But you know, if you're real lazy, the drill works also quite well. And it's just like literally a wire. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like a wire head on your drill piece, and it gets off the surface rust. And then if you get like finer wire brushes, it does get off the discoloration of the rust on your weapons, which is really good. But yeah, sorry again for the like someone said, the drill ASMR. I'll get this quickly done and I'll use sandpaper. I'm currently in the works of making a research profile on Buhurt. I'm 11 pages in, so far as today. Is there any obscure information you might be able to add? If any of you women getting in this sport are training groups. Alright, so 2 questions. Any obscure advice? I don't know if it's obscure, but your armor has to be within like 50 years of each other. So like 1400 helmet can't go with a 1500 brig. You probably already knew that. Or is it 30 years? It could have gone down to 30 years, but it's like a timed like that, and it all has to be historically accurate. I'll keep thinking about that, and I'll get back to you. Any advice for women getting into the sport? Excellent question. I'm actually training the automobilist team, the female team in America right now, and my biggest advice to anyone getting into the sport, but especially females, because it could be a bit overwhelming with all the dudes in there, because it is a male-dominated sport at the moment, is if you feel unsafe at all, you need to speak up. And like, even if you speak up once and they don't listen to you, as soon as they don't listen to you the first time, it's not acceptable at all. I would go around someone. So say you're training with someone and you don't feel safe, you're like, hey mate, could you not go so hard? And they don't listen to you. You just say, look, I'm not working with you anymore. I'm not training with you. And you've got to be blunt, because even when I'm training with guys and they go too hard, I even say, look, dude, you're going too hard, stop. So my biggest advice is almost feeling comfortable enough or having the courage to speak up when you don't feel safe, because I know a lot of people don't want to speak up because they feel like they're being rude. But this sport is meant for everyone, and if you don't feel safe at all, you need to speak up. Even though it would be hard, it would be very hard, I understand, speaking up to someone that you don't know or you don't want to be rude. But you're in a combat sport, you need to be like, no, don't do that, you're going too hard. And then if it doesn't go around to the captain or someone else that you can talk to. And if they should 100% listen to you. And if they don't, maybe that club isn't for you and find somewhere else. If anyone has any issues with me at training, I will ask them about it, and I'll apologize, I'll go to their level, because this could be a bit risky thing to say is violence. So combat sports violence is like sex. If it's not consensual, it's not cool at all. So you should have those micro conversations before sparring, before training, before anything, to be able to, you know, get past, you know, to be able to continue on. And if that person's not listening to him, they're the issue, not you. They're the issue, not you. I'm not sure if that helped you at all. But yeah, should know your limits with physicality and what you want to do, and just be like, no, I want to sit out this round. No, I don't want to do that. I don't like that guy because he fucking hits me, or I don't like that girl because she fucking hits too hard. You shouldn't, be afraid to voice that opinion, if that makes sense. Anytime. Thank you. I hope it helped and made sense, because I kind of rambled on there a bit. 556. We're talking about the round? Oh, okay. Better than WD-40, Roger. Yeah, exactly. The people that don't listen to you, it's usually the newer fighters, and sometimes they won't know that they're going too hard. That's the thing. They won't understand because they're probably new to fighting as well. So they're probably just spazzing out. We call it spazzy white belt. But they could be spazzing out, not realizing what they're doing. So if it's like, hey dude, could you please settle down? Like, I don't want to go that hard. I only want to practice this throw. So just relax. Usually, like 9 times out of 10, they'll be pretty chill with it. But if they keep doing it, that's when you need to be like, you're a fuckhead. I'm not working with you anymore. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on YouTube, but fuck it, whatever. Argentina. I know a lot of Buhurt fighters in Argentina, dude. I'm not too sure. I get a lot of people from Argentina saying, hey, what's up? So it's like, I got like, you know when sometimes you get like an eyelash caught in your gum? Oh, I literally just got it. But like, I don't know. If that could just be me getting eyelashes in my gum. But yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy getting eyelash in your gum. But yeah, there's a lot of Argentinian teams. If you can Google Buhurt teams near my city, that we've got. How loud is this with me? Is this loud? Because if it is, I'm very sorry. Yeah, definitely have a search, dude. It allowed, but we can still hear you. Okay, so I'll try to get this done as quick as I can. Whoa, that's some bad rust. Honestly, I don't think I've cleaned this sword. That's all the rust. I don't think I've cleaned this sword in a while. Where's the rust bad? That's the bad side. I'm not sure if you can see it. But yeah, not good for me. Because I've been out of the game so long. I haven't really used the sword for a while because I had a shoulder injury before going to America and whatnot. So I was kind of paid off it. I'm glad you like the cleaning experience. It's something I should do more often, is clean my actual weapon. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like in, oh, you can't hear it. I know in Twitch it's getting your voice, didn't hear the fantastic. It's not humid here where I am, but I'm about to move up to Brisbane, Australia, and that's humid. It's like permanently holiday weather there. And the rust there is insane because the air is so humid that everything that's steel needs to be covered in something, because it's crazy hot up there and crazy moist. And usually I like moisture, but sometimes it's a bit too much. Spears can be used in Buhurt, and why? Spears can be used, like a variation of a spear can be used, but you can't stab with it. It's all about striking, because there's no stabbing in Buhurt, because that's how you kill people in armor is stabbing them in the eyes. But you can use a variation of a spear, but you just got to like whack with it essentially. Could you cover scoring system for duels? All right, let's do it. All right, gotta go. Thanks for stopping in, Paper Bag Man. Appreciate it. Stay deadly. I can go over the duel. So we'll go through the one that most people want to talk about is pro fighting. So pro fighting is a duel, is a category. Essentially, it's MMA in a cage or in a list. It's punching, kicking, wrestling, ground and pound with sword and shield, two-handed axe. And there's different variations of the scoring system in pro fighting. Back to you, Sage. No, it's not very humid in here. So pro fight scoring. There's a lot of different variations. So I'm going to give you like the basic rundown on that's a lot of rust on rules. So what counts as a strike is a punch, kick, sword strike, short sword punch, kick above the waist. Some people have had kicks to the legs now scoring at points, so it depends on what type of federation you're fighting for. So all those count as a point above the waist. Sword strikes and everything to the legs is fine, but it's more just kicks. It has to be above the waist. Everything else, you can punch him in the leg, I believe, and you can punch him, hit him on the ground. And then once you take someone to the ground, you throw them to the ground. That's a certain amount of points, depending on what league you're in. And then ground and pound. So in the new outrents rules, you get score on top domination and how many strikes you actually, like clean strikes you land. And then you get stood up if there's no activity on the ground. It used to be 10 seconds of ground and pound, and then you get stood up. But now in Australia, we go outrents, so it's pretty much ground and pound until there's no movement, or like this is the end of the round. There's that for the pro fighting rules, which is like the armored MMA. And then for say sword and shield duel, it's all points with your sword. So you'll have a big shield, like a heater shield, the one that looks like this. Big heater shield on your non-sword hand and your sword hand, and it's just scoring points with your sword. So you're just blocking with your shield, you put your shield in front and scoring with your sword. And that's usually a timed round, like two rounds. Poleaxe scoring, same thing. Strikes with the weapon. And now I think it is the back of your weapon. You can strike, boom, like that with the butt of your weapon. Which looks like this. Yeah, I'm coming in. That's a point. Obviously, with the axe at the head of the axe, that's a point as well. So that's poleaxe fighting. They had this rule. I'm not too sure if it's a thing. I don't think it is a rule. But in the poleaxe duels, they had like a rope between the two fighters. And that sucked for me because the rope was like at my chest. So for all the other fighters, it was like at their hip or anything. So I could only really go top strikes. And if I wanted to hit someone's leg, I had to go around the rope and hit the legs, and I couldn't get up the block really quick. So that's my fault for being short, I guess. But I don't think they do that anymore. I think that's gone. Thank God. And then sword and buckler is different as well. So buckler is a little shield. It's first to 5 points out of 2 rounds, or 3 rounds if one wins one round and the opponent wins the other. And it's first to 5 points, clean hits with the sword and buckler. And if I'm not mistaken, Sage, you'll be able to help me out with this. I'm pretty sure headshots in sword and buckler is 2 points. But yeah. All right. Yep. See you, brother. Hail, brother from Canada. We'll start in Canada. Maple syrup, love it. If you had an unusual weapon in Buhurt, which one would you choose? I would really love like a flail, even though it's not a historically accurate weapon and it's really dangerous and silly to use, like a bombing knocker. So it's like with the chain and the ball would be cool, but it's like, it'd be bad, it'd be hard. And plus the restrictions on that would be so light, it wouldn't even do anything, but it's very cool. I think being short is awesome. I like that your height is. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I think being short actually helps me in fighting. Like, I feel like it's like a cheat code. People try to bend down and get me. Kick score. So kicking was started. So kicking in pro fight counts above the waist in the old rules, but it could have switched now to kicking your legs now are points, like inside leg kick. But I could be wrong. If anyone who knows the rules more than me, please let me know. Okay. Okay, cool. So in sword and board, 2 points to the head and chest. Sword and board is sword and buckler. No, sword and board is sword and shield. But sword and buckler is all 1 point from Sage. He's an experienced fighter in the chat. Flail would be sick to see. I feel like the flail would never come in because if you hit someone in the shoulder with the chain, it would wrap around and hit you in the back, and also you can't really control it. And if you hit someone in the shield, it could wrap around and hit them in the back of their knee, and the back of their knee is an illegal shot. Would be very cool. Steve, Hero, what's up, dude? What's cracking? How you going? I'm here trying to clean my weapon, but I like cleaning my weapon on a stream. It's the first time I've done it because then I don't have to clean it the whole time. I like it. Procrastinating is my favorite exercise. Yeah, they'd have to like make it the ball of the mace, the flail, like 1/2 kilo or something. And then like the chain, like the overall weight of it would be really small, but still could be cool. I'd love to see it. But once again, I think it was a peasant tool. And I think it was made to look more medieval, like through fantasy novels and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they do rubber balls because I try to keep it historically accurate, but yeah. Your mum does Buhurt? Hell yeah. Who's your mama bear? She's obviously a fucking weapon. There's a lot of rust, team. Sorry about the scrubbing. What else is everyone doing? What else is everyone doing? Talk to me. What's going on here? Ew. My helmet came in today from Honocraft. I've never heard of that armor before. Send me a DM. Oh, Spoleto T5. Send me a DM, dude. Say, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Looks. So, I picked my helmet because I think it looked the coolest, which it does. The coolest helmet ever right here. And that is it. Because I knew that if I trained enough in my helmet, the breathing, the vision's going to be absolutely fine. So pick something that you like the look of, because we all do this sport because it's cool. But then down the track, if you want to try get to high level and use the wolf rib, use the wolf rib. I'll still never use the wolf rib because I think, what's the point of doing this sport if you've got a kitchen strainer on your face? Actually, the kitchen strainers are cool. The wolf ribs are not. But, oh yeah. Red Hammer in Ukraine, cool. I've actually never seen anything from Red Hammer. That'd be really cool. It means being able to use a sword like one gut. Oh yeah, 1 hit, 1 kill, 100%. You can use executioner swords, which is cool. Yeah, agreed. Wolf ribs are gross. I totally agree. I totally bloody agree. So people do put a strap from their gauntlet to their van brace to stop that gap. Or you just have a very large cone that comes down. Like my titanium dueling gauntlet. It's quite a large, so I put my hand in. My greave, like my van brace fits inside of that. So like I don't ever really get a gap. But also it's for dueling, so it's not too bad. It's more Buhurt, you want to be worried about gaps in your wrist, because some cheeky prick like me come with accents, boost, and I aim for forearms. Fories, they call it these days. I want to switch to Buhurt, but I know I'd rather just do wolf rib meta. Nah, don't. Like I'm not. You can do whatever you want to do, but this is just my personal opinion. Do whatever you want to do. Do the Buhurt, dude. Wolf ribs are they're just ugly. They're obviously great vision, and also they're a bit dangerous. Have you seen all the people with their cuts and the people's eyes? They are dangerous because even with the bars in them, like say for example my helmet right here, I got bars on my helmet. I never did use it. It had this big opening. But like the sword can still get in, right? But not all the way in. Probably this much. It probably would still hit me in the eye, just I think it would still do. But with the wolf rib, the gaps are so big, the weapon can go all the way through. They damage your eye permanently. So that's why I don't like them because of the look of wolf ribs, but also they're not very safe. There's thousands or hundreds of photos of people with huge cuts in their eyes from their wolf ribs. It's up to you. You know, that's your personal opinion. The best thing about a sport is you get to pick your own adventure. Pick your own adventure. Pick the way you get injured. Do you know anyone who actually lost it? I not lost the eye, but if you look on my Instagram, there's a reel of all the injuries of some of my mates, and the guy got hit like a sword straight in his eye, and it cut his eye open, like in his actual eye from a wolf rib, and he started wearing a wolf rib with a clear like lens in it because of that. So yeah, your eyes are the most important part. So cover up, team. Oh, okay. So with your sorry, I was reading there. Oh yeah, Sage builds shields. Hit him up. He's good. Sorry. I like to have my palm in my gauntlet. I like to be able to feel my axe. That's just me. I like to be able to feel the wood. I don't like there being anything else on my hand. So I like to really feel the axe on my palm. Yes, I do sometimes get splinters if I get hit and I trace my, but I just like the feeling of knowing my axe, having my palm on some wood. I just like that. That's a personal preference for me. And I feel like sometimes when I have leather, I know leather does grip when it gets wet. But yeah, I like the feel of the wood in my hands. So that's just me. I have a griffin style one. You gotta chuck a tooth. Was that? I have a griffin style at the moment. One of our guys lost chunks of tooth a few practices ago. Lol, wolf rib. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you wear a wolf rib. That's what I'm saying. The helmets can be, you can modify your helmets, just the inside of it. Like I modified my helmets here with these crosses. These crosses were ground in with an angle grinder. But you got to make sure it's historically accurate. Inside, you can do whatever you want. People put like NFL chin straps in your helmet, and they make it all real nice and padded inside your helmet with concussion padding as well. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah. My straps are just basic underneath strap and in front strap. Those are my straps. But yeah. That's it. Let me just check something out, team. Let me just check something out. Oh my God, how rude of me. I mean, there is rust everywhere on this table. But yes, you can modify your helmet. You can modify the inside of your helmet. But yeah, like I said, just not on the outside. Okay, fantastical. I also, if you weren't aware, I started a shooting YouTube, not really for like anything rather than just a hobby. So if you like shooting, I've got a little page where I do all my civilian shooting with my weird Australian rifles, because we can't have semi-automatics. So if you like that, it's just Wride Tactical, which I have a lot of fun doing, as I have to keep myself distracted from not being able to fight in armor, which is cool. Yeah, Simon strap. Depends on Simon strap. Yeah, Simon straps are a must-have. I don't have a Simon strap on my helmet, but I have a Simon strap on my gorget. So my gorget is my neck protection, is strapped to the back of my helmet. But my helmet itself doesn't have a Simon strap, which is probably a bit bad. I probably need to do another strap inside to go to my back. Yeah, okay, cool. That's why you put the inner strap. I like that. Royal grey. I wish everyone weapon felt like my two-handed. Not a fan of big long axe. Feels awkward, but yeah. Look, I used to run the minimum length two-handed axe, and it just didn't get enough hitting power that I needed. Like the 9mm axe is cool, probably used as a sidearm, but yeah, it just didn't get the power I needed to drop the people. No, I find my beard actually pads out my straps a lot. At the start, I wasn't very used to it because I was a clean-shaven lad for a very long time, thanks to Army. But yeah, no, I find it pads out and you get used to it. But yeah, it doesn't really go in my mouth. I got a beard cut yesterday and that would definitely go in my mouth. But as long as you maintain a nice little trim area, you should be good. It didn't bother me. The long hair though that I've got, I don't know how that's gonna go. So Samantha's already threatened to cut it off because she doesn't want it. So because I'm getting married this year and she doesn't want my long hair for the wedding. How rude. How bloody rude. What was your injury again? Your leg. Yes, so in Carolina Carnage, it started this year in America. Flew to America and I fought the first Saturday 5v5s. We did great. With the pale horse. And then second day, first fight 12v12s, I snapped the ligaments clean off my ankle. So from my tib fib to the front, wraps around, snapped completely off. And then I kept fighting the rest of the day with this snapped ligament. It was extremely painful. I was limping everywhere, but it was all right. It wasn't too bad. It would hurt, but I still could limp and hit people, which was cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, my armor did lock up. Okay, that's just my fault for I didn't adjust one of the straps and then my knee caught on my crease. So then my knee fan locked into my quad armor and then it just locked up and I fell over. Like an idiot. But yeah, thank you for the badass comment. But yeah, beard, I don't know. I used to be, I don't think I find any, I can't even bring things up of me clean shaven. But if you have any suggestions if I should be clean shaven or beard, not that it matters. It's not that type of channel about what I look like, but it's more just a personal thing. Do I like to be clean shaven or, and I don't know. Anyway, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, so I keep going back to my leg armor my leg armor is too long. But, well, I take it back. It is long, it's not too long. But so what happened was the leather strap that connects my knee to my quad armor, the leather just stretched. So it was very loose. And I thought I fixed that by bending out my knee armor. And by me, I mean Jake Taylor, my coach. But yeah, no, it was, it locked out. The girlies stand, well, there you go. It is trim. I got a bit crazy with my Bushman's beard because I couldn't leave the house. I was on the couch all the time. I was just depressed because I couldn't train. So I wasn't actually depressed, but I wasn't having a good time. First world problems, you know? Well, all right, dude, thank you so much. We're all great. That's really nice. Thank you. I'll keep the beard. All right, back to cleaning the sword. Everyone, come on, everyone. Everyone's getting distracted here. Let's get back to it. So it's not looking too bad. I would like to get this up to like mirror polish, but I just honestly don't have the facilities for that. So you can get like a bench grinder, bench grinder that it has like all the different types of sand qualities, like 1000 grit and whatnot. But I think I'll have to get to this. Any idea, any tips on how to get the discoloration off from rust, apart from sanding, would be great. Would be great. Dang, the pommel. We're gonna have to just give the pommel a quick hit on this bad boy. Also, I use, I'm not sure if you can see it on this side, I know, ASMR I use a tennis racket grip on my swords. It's very old and decrepit right now, but yeah, I get my sword and then I use a tennis racket grip to just feel better. Because I like a bit thicker in my hand. But yeah, so tennis racket grip, like a Wilson's tennis racket grip, I usually just wrap around it. It feels really good, feels good. But yeah. All right, let's hit this up. Sorry. More drill ASMR coming up, team. Coming up. Boom, 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 boom. Are you guys allowed to pommel strike with one-handed weapons? Yeah, you can. You can bash someone like that. Because once hit, a Wolfroot punch the bar right through. Look, you can pommel grip. You can hammer strike with the pommel of your weapon because it doesn't count as stabbing. Because the pommels are usually quite thick. Like, I don't think this pommel will go through my helmet. No. Pommel striking is completely fine. Unless I'm wrong. Sage, if you're in here, correct me. I know you're more knowledgeable than me on these things. But I'm just going to use a drill a bit more. So, do you have any sharp swords? I do not. I sharpened this axe. I sharpened this axe with a grinder. It was a Buhurt axe. But I don't have any sharpened swords. I'd love one. But I don't. Pretty sure you can't pommel strike. Okay. I could be wrong. We'll look it up. We'll look it up together. Because I'd love to know. Because I've done it a few times. I think maybe, I don't know. Can pommel. We got a discussion in the chat here. Some people saying you can pommel strike. The audacity. Look, someone give me the rules. Someone give me the rules. Here we go. I already have to pay a fee to participate in Buhurt team. I'm worried I won't be able to afford when I join. So for my team anyway, to compete in a tournament, you have to pay for Australian Medieval Combat Federation membership to be covered for insurance. Third-party insurance is not for you. It's for, say, if your axe head flies off and hits a child. You have to be a member of the AMCF to compete in the tournament. I think in Australia it's only like $100 a year, which is pretty good. Could be 120. And then to pay club fees is like paying a normal MMA gym or a gym, a fitness gym. You got to pay fees to be able to use their equipment because it's a business, so you can't just go there and get anything for free. But you got to put that in perspective of like someone who does a marathon, right? Like the half marathon down the road is like $300 to do one race. And what do you use in a half marathon? You use your own legs and the road. Do you know what I mean? So I think if you're paying membership and the membership covers the cost of marshals, the insurance that covers you if you accidentally fly an axe off and hit someone, so you're not paying out of pocket for the injuries you caused. I think it's like a small price to pay to do a sport. Like, even football clubs. Like I know some Aussie rule football soccer clubs, it's hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year to be a member of a footy club, which is insane. When this sport, you're using weapons, the marshals come and they travel, just like referees at any other sport. I feel like if you want to get into this sport and do anything for free, or any sport and doing it for free, apart from going for a run down the road, or anything in your own home. Like I've got a home gym, but that wasn't free. I had to pay for that out of my own money. I think in Buhurt, in Australia anyway, it's quite a reasonable price. That's not just me coming from, because I'm the vice president of Buhurt in Australia. That's not me coming from it. That's me coming as a personal perspective. And I'm not a rich man. I'm definitely not rich. So I feel like it's quite affordable. IMCF, that's a 2 different rule sets. So you have to pay for Buhurt International and IMCF rule set. So if you're doing double up, maybe. I don't know how much IMCF was. I was on the board, but I couldn't do it. Thanks for clarifying. I heard it was $20 every day you participate. Whoa, no way, dude. No, $20 no way. That shouldn't be the case. And if it is, it's ridiculous. Not in Australia, brother. Not around here. No, it's $100 a year or $130 a year to participate. But yeah, it should not be $20 a day. That's ridiculous. I want to become a runner. I've spent the last few years being an anchor, been struggling, transition to role, cardio. Well, dude, if you struggle with cardio, I know someone that sells very good fitness programming. They can help you get to the fitness you need. I reckon I definitely had over 100 clients, but I reckon at least 20 of them, my clients have hit their goal super, super quick of being whatever they wanted to do, strength, cardio-wise. And I don't just train Buhurt fighters or fighters, I train everyday mums and dads. Actually, one of my clients is a doctor. I don't brag, but he does. When he checks in at night time, he works at like he trains at like 1 a.m. in the morning. Like, dang, Doc's getting after it. But yeah, I train absolutely everyone. Small people, large people, skinny people, fat people. I don't care what you are. My program is for everyone. Can be tailored around Buhurt, can be tailored around just everyday living, losing weight, better sex drive, better sleep. It's what I do for my programming. If you want any evidence, I was a physical training instructor in the military, so I would teach soldiers fitness, get them strong, rehabilitate them after injuries. So if they're injured and they can't do their role, I would rehabilitate them back into the workforce so they can, get deployed, do obstacle courses and everything like that, and recovery. So that's kind of like my expertise in that area. Yeah, lobster. I'm assuming you're some sort of AJ. Do I know you? Is it coitus? It sounds like coitus. I'm going to call you coitus from now on. Coitus, do I know you? But yes. To make the change the runner, sorry, I just went on a massive spiel. To make the change the runner, you need to up your fitness and just try it out. If you try it out and you fail, you should go to the gym failing. You shouldn't always go to the gym and try the same moves. You go to the gym to get better. You don't go to the gym already good. You know what I mean? Do you have any options for one-off lump sum payment? My weekly expenses for Buhurt is $9 a week. I already don't. I do. I have lump sum offers. Like I do like 12-week programming and everything like that. I can send you the link or go into the links in my bios and check them out. The Deadly Daily, that's $11 a day. $11 a week. It's just the best bang for buck and then keeps you accountable, right? If you're paying something every week, you're like, shit, I should really train. Also, it's easy for me. Oh, what's up, dude? The old Knights of Albion. I love Chino, man. Love Chino. Chino and I fought together in Vultures. Chino's on the original Vultures. So we do love Chino. He's the best. Or Scott. But yeah, dude, I got one-off payment programs, and then I have I also got obviously the subscription rate. But yeah, I always push people towards the subscription rate just because it's easier. If you're paying for something, you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be like, shit, I'm paying for this. I better go to the gym. When you pay for like a one-off program, which is more expensive in the long run, you've got it there, and there's nothing really reminding you that you need to train. Also, obviously, subscription rate's better for personally business for me, being selfish, but that's, business. It's my job, so apologies. I'm just going to use the drill a little bit more, so apologies for that. Oh, he's the sweetest. I love Chino, dude. He's really good. You should be blessed to have him on your team, dude. Team and mentor. I love him. I should be coming down to the Knights of Albion once I can start running to do a seminar for you guys. So I'm pretty excited. Runner is the best position. Oh, here we go. Pommel question. Strikes are permitted with any part of the weapon, shield, and various body parts, arm, leg, and head. Sage, that's why you're here. And that is why you're here, to help me answer the hard-hitting questions that I'm too stupid to do. Look at his power stance right now. This is way cleaner, but still, I don't know if you can see the discoloration from the rust. I think it looks kind of shit. It's not clean. I don't know if you can see that. But, yeah. I think I need to get in there deep. But that's not a today job. Today was just to get the surface rust off, which is fantastic. So I do have, God, I keep looking at a message about Chino. I love Chino. The next video I'm going to do on YouTube is going to be, I actually brought them here to talk about it. I think I said it on my story before, but, so I'm going to be testing, the drill, you're done. I'm going to be testing out armor. So I'm going to pad out these armor. So this is a mild steel, arm armor. So we got mild steel, hardened steel, and titanium. And I'm going to put my foam padding that I put on all my armor. And I'm going to do the same testing on it. So I'm going to hit it with the falchion, heavy falchion, 2 strikes, or I'll just do the same bit of armor with padding on a cow leg bone. So like on your arm or even your shin is just bone with your armor pressed up against it. So it's gonna show you like what the difference between the metal we'll end that phone call quickly. But yeah, so testing out the different types of metal, because mild steel is very cheap, but it's very soft and will bend. If you've seen a lot of people with helmets and they look like the helmets have got cellulite, it's because they're probably mild steel. And then we've got hardened steel, which is hardened steel. It's been heated up and quenched. So we test that out, and then we're going to test out the titanium, which is the strongest, but it's the most expensive, but it is a little bit brittle. But yeah, so we're going to do some testing on that, which is, I'm more excited about it to hit it. And I've got some big leg bones to use behind it, so to see if it does much damage through the armor. If it's on parts like your shin or even your collarbone, where I broke my collarbone, so it definitely does hurt and break. I use 457 meters of thread making 450 making my gambeson. Jesus, dude. Oh yeah, he's making the Gamby, dude. Dude, that's a lot of meters. That's nearly half a K. That's 43 meters short of half a K. I was gonna miss call from that person. But yeah, that's my next YouTube video, because I can now swing a sword and axe somewhat well. So that'll be fun. And I have a Warhammer too from Cult of Athena, so I should be able to use a Warhammer to finish it off, to see why we don't use hammers in the sport. But yeah, that's what's coming up. I'm pretty excited about it all. And that is that. What else we got here, team? Oh, we're all gravy. I haven't really streamed that much recently because I've just been doing my own thing. I should get back into it more and more as it goes on. And yeah, here we go. Just out of curiosity, what's your grip strength? Oh, I don't know what it is, but it's pretty strong. Doing like dumbbell farmer carries or kettlebell farmers carries really good for grip strength. Or pull-ups, just doing basic pull-ups is really good for your grip strength. And obviously sword work on the lapel, amazing for your grip strength. Amazing for just conditioning in your arm anyway. Use Titan thighs, never again. I've been using titanium like legs for the last 10 years. But you gotta remember, 10 years, I haven't been fighting 10 years, last like 6 years. I'm a runner, so I don't get trapped in the corners that much. And if I do get trapped, I like push out. I run. I make sure I'm not in that position where I'm gonna get wailed on with axes. So yeah, that's why I use titanium nearly everything apart from my shoulders and helmet. And my gauntlets are half titanium, half steel. So yeah, it's pretty good. What else is there, team? I think that's everything. I think I'm gonna call the quits to the stream because I've got some things to do today, but I should be increasing going live. If you have any suggestions of what to do on my channel, hit me up. If you like the lives, let me know. If you don't, also let me know. But yes, if you need a fitness program, hit me up on Instagram on Stay Deadly Fit or Wride. I can definitely help you with fitness. You don't have to be a Buhurt fighter. You can be any type of person, and I can help you out with that. Hopefully, I can see some of you people in the list, fight against you guys in the next couple of months. And yeah, stay deadly, have a great day, drink plenty of water, and please, please, please say hi to your mum for me. It's from Rose McManus. I love Rose McManus, but thanks. No, thank you for coming into the stream, everyone. Really appreciate it. Yeah, having a good time, staying alive. I'll say goodbye to people on Twitch first because I've got to get up and move. But yeah. Oh yeah, drink water. And the YouTube people, thanks for coming in. Oh, my leg tattoo's coming along well. But yeah, take it easy. How do we stop this, team?